please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have a fairly light agenda, so let's try to get through this. It is hot, but it's nice and cool in here, so I like that. All right, first thing on our agenda is approval of minutes. We have public from the retreat.
Public hearing?
Oh, we have a public hearing. Thank you.
Here.
All right, so then I call this public hearing open at 6 p.m. We recess our meeting, call the public hearing to 6 p.m. On the proposed $40,000 donation from the Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation for the high school Galapagos trip in fiscal year 26. So this is the opening of the public hearing. Public hearing. Any public comment?
Yeah, thank you to Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation.
For sure.
I guess I mean, $40,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but at some point, these kids are not gonna be able to go to Galapagos Islands anymore if they're paying for the trip. Basically, they're paying for the trip.
Yeah.
The kids are like making up the, shall we say, the incidentals?
I'm trying to think, because I have a kid that's going on a trip, and it's like $4,000 per kid, and they got like 30 kids going. So it's part of it, something like that. So it's a good chunk of it. You're right, it is a good chunk of it, yeah. So.
Just saying.
Yep. All right. I mean, Martha could not make this any more clear on the agenda. I just skipped right over it, the big box, so that's my bad. All right, anything else? Any further comment from the board on this? Like Mr. Kyler said, many thanks to the Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation for that.
Absolutely.
All right, that being said, we can close the public hearing at 6:02, go back into our school board meeting where we are at the approval of minutes. So I'll entertain a motion for the public meeting minutes from the retreat of 6:08, the public meeting minutes of 6:10, and the non-public of 6:10.
I'll make a motion to approve the public minutes from the retreat on 6/8, the public minutes on 6/10.
Okay, a second?
I'll say.
All right, whichever one Pamela heard first.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, any comments, questions, concerns on any of those? Anything on the retreat minutes? They look pretty good. And then same thing with public minutes from 6:10. Any comments on that one? I didn't see anything on there. So, all right. All those in favor of approval of minutes from 6:08, 6:10, and non-public 6:10, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Public comment? Any public comment at this time?
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
Go for it.
It's enrollment time. And I've got the state enrollment numbers. And again, statewide, lost 2,700 students last year.
Wow.
22,000 the last 2 years. 45,000 since the year 2000.
Yeah.
Interesting. The voucher program, they were saying, gotta get more kids into private schools, getting money, ain't happening. There's a 400 student difference over the last 10 years. There's a 50 student difference since the voucher program went in, and it's 50 students less.
So there's 50 fewer students now in private schools than there were.
Private schools are, for the last 20 years, have been between 16,500 students and 16,900 students.
Okay, I just want to
So it's not, the interesting one is after COVID, it dropped by 5,000 students statewide. Those kids are obviously being homeschooled now.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to the private schools, and so it's the public school number that went down. It'll be interesting to see what the new voucher program, if that makes a difference. And the other thing is, keep an eye on Vermont. That could be the future of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Okay, Vermont has legislature passed the smallest district you can have is 4,000 students.
Holy cow.
Mhm.
There is only one district in the state of Vermont that has 4,000 students, which means there's going to be some major consolidation. There is probably going to end up being between 8 and 10 districts statewide Vermont.
Yeah.
Going to save a lot of administrative costs, and that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
It's going to close a lot of schools.
I've been watching that, yeah.
The next piece there is what Scott's been trying to do for years, which is a statewide health program for all teachers. If you've only got 10 districts, you're going to have 10 contracts
Mm-hmm.
for teachers statewide. So it could be very interesting.
Yeah.
It could also be the future in New Hampshire if we keep seeing fewer and fewer students. That's all I got.
All right, cool. No, I've been watching that thing in Vermont. It's just
Yeah.
good to keep an eye on. It'd be very interesting, and from my perspective, like, you know, if they're going to be losing people, then maybe we can stand to get some good people, because we're right on the edge. So
Yeah.
for the time being, I will
Oh, yeah.
take advantage of that. But yeah, good point. All right, coming up
Oh,
next.
yeah, one more.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sir. Yes.
Just putting it out there, because I like to do advertising too. The new commissioner,
Yes.
education commissioner, is Bishop Brady, class of 2004.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you got an in, is what you're saying.
I don't think.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Good to know. All right. Okay. Up next on continuing business, we can pass on student representative report. Wellness committee, you have your minutes in the draft. I was unable to make it. They reviewed their goals for the strategic plan. They did not get a student rep before the end of the year elected, but they will do an election first thing in September, which is too bad. It looks like that's the last I know of. I could be wrong. Tina might have a last minute update, but I did not hear. Yeah, so there was a negative balance total. This was as of, what was this? June 16th, so like the last week of school. Negative $7,840.86. Gave the individual breakdown by school to Amanda. So we do have $3,400 in the donations account. They're going to clear some negative balances. Anton's going to give people the chance to clear out negative balances like the end of the year. Like, oops, I forgot to add some cash in for my kid. It's like negative $5, something like that. Had some resources shared, and then also talked about our vaping curriculum to fourth grade, like talking about how we're going to start that, talking to fourth grade parents, talking about vaping, stuff like that. So we'll meet again in September. Any questions on that? Or anything to bring back to that committee? Okey-doke. All right, up next, let's see, superintendent's report. We do not have one of those, as she is not here today. She is at a superintendent conference, so that is good. All right, up next is business administrator's report. Michelle, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, so you've got my report in your packet. Also in your packet tonight, I have the EBS slate roof bids. I received 3 bids. You're going to see there's quite a difference in those bids. So I also included an updated, a revised CIP because the original slate roof amount we had on there was not enough for these 3 amounts we got. So I did up it on the CIP, so if we could approve that tonight and then approve the bids. And in the packets tonight, I have a letter from the commissioner on the ESSER grant, which we can go over more later.
Okay.
And then just an update, end of year, we've been working hard at closing the year end. We've got the new orange plan for healthcare, which has been keeping us busy, putting in all those HSA new amounts in payroll that we're not used to. So it's been keeping Patty on her toes. So, but we completed the final payroll of the year last week, so that was good.
All right. Any questions for Michelle? What did we originally budget for CIP for EVS slate roof?
45.
45? Okay. So yeah, seeing what the other ones came in, and someone did come in with a bid that came close, but not quite, so.
Yeah, it was close, but not quite. So I did up it to 60 just
Okay.
to give us some wiggle room in case
Okay.
it needs a.
I just want to make sure, I mean,
Whatever we
yeah,
decide.
45 to 60 is 33% increase. I just want to make sure it wasn't like, we were thinking 15, it's going to be 60, but then I saw the other prices and I was like, yeah.
Did they say why there was like $100,000 difference? Like, is there anything obvious in the bid that makes like?
Not that I'm aware of, so Andrew Cushing, who's on our budget committee, he's the one who kind of went out to bid with these, he's reached out to the company that has the lowest bid. He does know them very well, they came, they went
Oh,
up on the
good.
roof, they looked at
Okay.
it, the other two companies did not come and look at it, so they just went by.
Yeah.
what we
Seems
put
like
in
maybe they don't
RFP,
want the
so-
job. They just
Yeah, they
I
just
think
send
that's
it
why.
up.
they bid themselves out of it because they don't want it.
Right,
I'm guessing.
they're like, I'm gonna go really high on this, and
Yeah.
well, that's good that Andrew talked to them, because I know Andrew does a lot of historic renovation, and that's a historic roof, and he has had to get, I think, a roof for that church, the meeting house that they're building, so he knows, so I'm glad that Andrew has looked at this, that helps me a lot. Cool. All right, so do you need a motion on, do you need that approved now for CIP?
Yes.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the revised CIP as presented in our packet.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of approving the revised CIP, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Bus routes update, or did you have anything else before that?
Don't hit.
Oh,
I did.
Yep,
oh.
got it. That's what I thought, I
Yep.
didn't look up and see.
oh, okay. Oh, the second, okay.
Thank you so much.
We don't have anything bus routes update. But then next in your packet, we have the ESSER 3 liquidation update. So do you want to talk about that?
Yes, so I've included the letter from the commissioner, where he goes back a few years there and it outlines everything in the grant that he feels the district did not do properly, I will say. If you've read through it, there's a lot of discrepancies in this letter. I do not agree with it. I mean, I haven't been here since 2022, but I know that a lot of these things are not true. Specifically, the part about reporting. I mean, when the grant closed on March 28th, you couldn't report after that, right? It closed. There was no, but the reporting system for the New Hampshire department, it was closed. Like they didn't have reporting up for me to report for March, even if I wanted to.
Hmm.
So the fact that it says I reported on April 3rd and that was past the March 20th, it's misleading. So I did write, Amanda and I wrote a letter to Senator Shaheen asking for her support with hopefully moving forward with this, maybe. I mean, we're gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna stop until we hopefully get a better answer. So we sent that letter last week. I have not heard from Shaheen's office yet. I also sent it to Hassan's office because they reached out as well. So the letter to Shaheen just basically goes through the commissioner's letter and says the things that, we don't agree with.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's been denied as of this point, and it's not the first time it's been denied, it's the second time it's been denied, and the reasoning is because HVAC systems do not mitigate COVID, learning loss for students during COVID, which doesn't make sense, because that's what the grant was originally approved for. So.
Right. Yeah, no,
Are there
I
any questions
yeah.
on all that?
Yeah, questions from the board on that? So, I mean, I know that a lot of things that he's saying here are factually incorrect, and some things are not completely true, but I mean, we did miss deadlines. As
Yes.
arbitrary as they are still deadlines, and there's still hoops we have to jump through.
Right.
And it's silly, and I know that they're being petty. I know the federal government is not being friendly here.
Right. Yeah,
But we have to plan to make that up somehow. So that's $400,000 we got to find. Now all of our taxes are going to go up because of that. So what? 400,000? 440?
387.
387. Okay, 387. All right. Well, that's better than $500,000. So, but yeah, we're gonna have to make that up somewhere, and that's like half of what we return to towns half the time. So we are probably gonna have to go into this budget season looking at cutting positions, just to make this up, because this is a huge chunk of money. I can't express how big of a chunk of money this is. But yeah, it's I mean, we'll keep pursuing whatever options we have. But yeah, we're gonna have to find cuts somewhere. It's the only thing I can see, because at the very least we have to kind of go into it and kind of make up those costs and kind of go into a skinny, lean year, and hope that we get that money back, and kind of think oh, we might not get that money back. Even though this is a project that they said this is what you can do, and I know we're just kind of getting the short end of the stick here, but yeah, that's kind of what I think. But anyone else? I know it's not pleasant, it's not fun.
When would that deadline have to be? Would that be just during budget season or as we go into budget season or?
Well, we've already paid those contractors, right? So we've already paid that bill, so we like are waiting for a reimbursement from the federal government to go back. And I mean, we have to close our books on the year, right? For June, at the end of June. So I would assume that just means that's less money that we have to return to towns, right? Right. So when we return money to towns, it'll be like whatever we didn't retain, and then that's it. Do we have a rough idea what that is at this point? Okay.
I just don't forget, the year end is not there.
Yeah, I
It's
figured.
still out there, but next meeting, yeah. I will
Next meeting? Okay.
definitely-
Alright.
What's the response time been like, as far
Yeah.
as like back and forth with them, like us appealing and then them responding with no, like what was it last
What's
time?
this one? This was June 13th.
So we got the denial letter May 16th.
Was that the first one?
That was the first denial from the US Department of Ed, giving us 30 days to appeal. The New Hampshire Department of Ed wanted the appeal by June 2nd. 30 days was June 14th, I think, but they wanted it by the 2nd so they could review it and send it to the US Department of Ed.
Right.
It was given to them on June 4th, which is our error. We missed it by 2 days. And then we were told the appeal wasn't going to move forward. We pushed it, we still sent the appeal, Amanda talked to the commissioner, he said he was going to try to reopen the grant, and then we got the letter, this letter on June 13th.
Right, from him, yeah.
From him.
Yeah. Why did we close out the grant?
So an email was sent on June 4th from
Yeah.
Lisa Mercier at the Department of Ed, that said, the US Department of Ed has denied your appeal, which was true.
Mm-hmm.
Please go in and zero out the amount that's in the grant.
Mm-hmm.
That was done.
Oh, so they told you to do that? Okay.
Had the email said,
Yeah.
go in and zero out the grant, I don't know how to word that.
This will close out.
And this will close out the grant, and your appeal means nothing at this point.
Right.
It would not have been done.
I
I will
got
tell you that. It was a lack of communication, I feel.
Okay.
But yes, that is why it closed out. We were told to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we can bring this up again next meeting
Yeah,
and
we'll
see where we're at.
we're at.
Because we're gonna have to find that money somewhere in the meantime. But yeah.
How hopeful are you that the appeal will sort of go in our favor?
I don't know how hopeful I am. I mean, Shaheen's on our side. I don't know what they can do at this point with it being closed. I don't know how that works when a grant is closed, how much it takes to reopen it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My guess is it's, yeah.
I administer grants for work, and it's not easy. So I don't know. If you haven't looked at the previous meetings, superintendent's report, Amanda had a link to the C-SPAN hearing where Senator Shaheen directly brought us up in front of Secretary McMahon and said, this school, Mascoma Valley Regional High School District, put in this stuff in their elementary schools. They're being denied. Will you work with me on this? And she's like, I promise I'll look into it. So, but at least, I mean, Shaheen said that like right on the floor, like right to her face, like mentioned our school. So that was cool, but didn't really get a great hearty response from the secretary. So
Does she ever give a hug?
only in the room. But yeah, so.
Metal chair.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. All right. Quarterly reports. Anything else on that? ESSER 3. All right. I just want to give people opportunity. End of year reports. We did not drag the principals out here, thank goodness, for these things. But you can see their quarter 4 reports, CES, EVS, IRS, and the high school, as well as the curriculum, SPED, and tech reports. If you have any questions on any of those, go ahead and direct them to Amanda, and she'll be happy to ask them, all of them except for Kevin, I'm sure. Because I'm sure Kevin is already, he hasn't cleaned out his office yet. Man, I don't know. All right. New business. Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation grant for $40,000. Up next in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to accept the gift.
I make a motion to accept the Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation grant for $40,000 for the Galapagos trip.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion on that? Many, many thanks to the Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation. Again, supporting our kids on taking trips around the world is amazing. So All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, abstentions. Many thanks. It's really cool to get kids out of their home turf and out to see other stuff. All right, up next we have school board goals for 25-26. You see them here in your packet. One change that Amanda asked for me to bring up is negotiation personnel. She said she's already directed April to work with the professional development committee to develop their goals. So she said we can take that out as one of our negotiations personnel goals. I think that's fine because we don't really meet as a negotiations committee anyway, typically. So if that's okay with people, we'll take that out as one of our goals. But yeah, I mean, April's already working on it, getting them to get started, and you're going to be on the committee. I'll be on the committee. So you'll be able to tell us if they are or not. So
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else on here for goals? Anything else people saw that you might like? All right. As these are kind of our guiding document for the year, kind of keeps us on task. All that sort of thing. So, all right. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I make a motion to approve the goals for, school board goals for 2026.
Oh, yeah, with that typo fix, 2025 to
25,
2026.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I'm like, why is it 20, yes, 2025, 26.
Okay, do you have a second?
Second.
All right. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, abstentions. All right, up next on our agenda, you see in your packet, they are asking, Amanda also asked me to bring this up. So one of our students, Barnaby Dean, he made the National Track and Field Championship. I do not recall how well he did. He did pretty well, but I don't remember the exact place that he did. But they're asking if we can approve his travel expenses for that, and seeing as how he did represent us on the national stage. I said that's a good thing to put in there. So entertain a motion to approve the Nationals reimbursement for Barnaby Dean.
I'll make a motion to approve the national reimbursements for Barnaby Dean.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. But yeah, so this is, do we have a line? Did she have a place that she said she was going to find for this?
I think it's the academic travel one, because
Okay.
it still has.
So it's like $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Almost
it's
$5,000.
All right.
should be,
All right, we can move that over. So, okay. But yeah, he represents us well, and we should probably budget for that for next year. He's only a junior. So we got another junior too. Georgia Conde's throwing stuff really far.
Yeah.
So we got some good kids at the banners and everything. All right. Any further discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of approving reimbursements for the track and field national championship of Barnaby Dean, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, abstentions. All right, up next we got the slate roof bids for EVS. And I presume you wanted to go with custom slate and copper?
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are the people who showed up.
Yes, those are the people
Yes.
who went on
So
top of the
like
roof
went
and
on the
looked.
roof and saw.
I do want to add, there's a typo on his bid. It is $55,500.
Okay.
Approved for that amount. I did forget the 5.
One more 5.
Okay.
All right. Well, that as long as it's not another 5 in the
it's
front.
not another 5.
But okay, all right, that's good to know. Just for future reference on bids like this, if you can just put a sentence at the bottom that says recommend bid going to, whatever. All right, I'll entertain a motion on that one.
I make a motion that we approve custom slate and copper for the EVS roof repair for $55,500.
Okay. And
I'll second.
all right, and seconds. All right, any further discussion on that? Well, I'm very glad that he came out to take a look at it, and like they sound like they did their due diligence, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get
All right.
started.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, abstentions. All right, we got some second reading of policies. I will make a motion that we approve for second reading and adoption policy JICM, bring your own device/technology. Policy JICJ, unauthorized communication devices. Policy EBCG, communicable and infectious diseases. And policy EBCG-R, the old policy JHCCA-R, health guidelines for the school environment, handling of bodily fluids in the school. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. So second reading and adoption, anything on any of these policies that people saw that jumped out at them that they were like, ooh, 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 I thought of this in the middle of the night, and I just couldn't sleep without talking about this policy. Yeah. No, as always with technology policies, we'll have to review these every few years to make sure they're up to date and current, and probably have Craig review this annually just to make sure we're up to date on stuff. So, all right. Unauthorized communication devices. That's really good. This will probably change a lot if the cell phone ban goes through.
Yeah.
Because this is mostly applicable to things like when we have people like vendors and stuff that have to come in and like connect, like the HVAC guy has to connect to our Wi-Fi or stuff like that. But this also talks about unauthorized communication devices. But yeah, who knows what's happened with the state budget? So it sounds like it's back in now. That cell phone bell-to-bell ban, no cell phones whatsoever for any reason, from the opening bell to the closing bell.
Well, it's communication. I think the language is communication devices.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that's what's up for debate, whether it's a personal device or something, whether it has to do with a district device.
Yeah,
That's
right.
I think, the real crux of the issue right now.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
They're hashing that out because we don't want them to like limit the district devices. So,
Yeah.
so stay tuned to that. Pay attention to that one. And then the other one, communicable and infectious diseases and bodily fluids. Anything on those? Wellness committee looked through those. So fun stuff. All right, update that one after 30 years. That's good. Especially bodily fluids in the school organization. All right, any further discussion on anything? All those in favor of second reading and adoption of policy JICM, JICJ, EBCG, and EBCG-R signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, abstentions. I'll make a motion that we rescind policy JICJ-R, unauthorized communication devices and procedures, and policy EGAG and EGAG-R, responsible use procedures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor of rescinding those policies, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Agenda items for the next meeting, which will be July.
22nd.
Yeah. Which one's the 4th? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 22nd. Yeah. July 22nd. That is what we said, right?
Yeah.
That's what I have on the calendar.
That's what's on the high school calendar.
Yep, good. So we got some stuff there, committee reports, our PD newsletter, back to school staff lunch approvals, and maybe actually all the meals that we have to do for the staff for the year. Bus routes will be hopefully coming out, some policies, and then, oh yeah, the resolutions. So if there's anything that you think the New Hampshire School Board Association should advocate for public schools and school boards on our behalf, bring it to the next meeting, even if it's half flushed out in your head. You're like, I think they should do this. They should advocate for us for this. We can work it out and come up with a way to do it, because August 1st, I believe, is the deadline to get that in. So we don't have to. It's just an option, but we've been successful the last couple times we've done it. So, yeah. Anything else people can think of for next meeting? I can't wait to tell Amanda this meeting was the shortest one without her.
Obviously, she's the holdup.
Sorry.
Probably watching right
She probably is. They probably are. All right. Public comment. We have public comment next.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
So you got a $387,000 hole.
Mm-hmm.
Why slate roof?
Good question.
$60,000
Yeah.
when a metal roof probably would have been 12, 15.
Yeah.
The difference between what was in the CIP and what you just raised the CIP would probably pay for a metal roof.
Maybe. Is it historic though? Is it a historic building?
No,
No, I don't know.
it's not on the register. if
Okay,
what
that's
you
all right.
mean.
Well, I didn't know.
No, it's not on the
Okay.
register.
All right.
I mean, it's just a question.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna get questions like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get questions like, why'd you put a new sign out there?
yeah,
Why'd you put a new field out there?
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get those questions.
You're
So,
gonna get those
not looking
questions.
forward to those questions. Really not. So. All right. Personnel, we have a green sheet here. And entertain a motion on that for anybody. I'll make a motion that we approve the nominations here on the green sheet as
Second.
presented. Okay. Any discussion on these?
So Kevin just can't retire.
Kevin just can't get away. We are going to keep him on as the ELO coordinator part-time at the high school here. So that's good. That'll be good. Because they were looking for somebody and it kind of, if it's not somebody with dedicated time, it just kind of disappears. It just kind of fades into guidance responsibilities and stuff, so. All right. And again, I trust Amanda's judgment on some of these, so that's great. All right. All those in favor of approving the nominations as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. It says we have non-public. Do you have something for it? All right, good. So I entertain a motion to go into non-public for reasons of hiring.
I will make a motion to go into non-public for reasons of hiring.
Okay. Do a second?
Second.
All right. Joe?
Yes.
Tim, yes. Diane?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
All right. We're in non-public.